Hey book lovers, Kaylee here, and welcome back to the Enchanted Library. Now some of you may or may not have noticed that last month, so in January, I hosted my very first live discussion Google Hangout with a couple of my friends where we started officially our book club. And the first book that we read in January was I Was Anastasia by Ariel Lawhon. And that discussion was so great. I was so happy with everything that went into it and the topics that we covered and the discussion that we had in general surrounding the book. It was a lot of fun to talk to my friends about the book and for all of us to chat throughout the month about our thoughts and opinions and have it all culminate into this hour-long live show. And the really surprising thing about it was that Ariel Lawhon actually stopped in and watched. That just blew my mind because she ended up tweeting me afterwards and answering some of the questions that we were discussing, and it was amazing. So we all got very excited about that, and while it was just a soft launch of the book club, we did announce what our February book pick was. So for now we have decided to continue going on with our book club, which I guess I'm kind of dubbing the Enchanted Book Club because, I mean, branding is everything on here, right? So we are going to be continuing on for the foreseeable future so long as our schedules will allow it, and I wanted to announce officially what the February book pick was because even though we did announce it at the end of the live stream, I wanted to make sure that you guys all knew what the book was, so in case you wanted to read along and participate in the discussion at the end of the month. And our February book pick is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. And this book, yes, I know it's not quite current anymore. I think it came out in 2014, but this is one that has been on my physical TBR for a while, and my friend Jessica had a few options for what we could read for February, and this was the winner. So I'm very excited to read this one. I'm sure plenty of you have already read it, so I feel like you'll all have a lot to bring to the discussion into the chat. So Anthony Doerr is actually more well known for his short stories and his poetry, and All the Light We Cannot See is a book that took him years to write, but it has won so many awards and so many people love it. So I really just want to do a full delve into this story and just figure out what my thoughts are on it because I do know so many people love it, but I feel like this is just going to be a beautiful story. So this book takes place in the 1940s and it follows two main storylines, two main lives, and the first one is Marie, and she lives with her father in Paris and he works at the Museum of Natural History there. However, once the Nazis start to occupy the area, they have to find a way to flee and escape and get out. They end up making their way to a walled citadel by the sea, but in their possession they have a dangerous and valuable jewel. So this just puts their lives on the line, I can imagine, so much that they have to keep this secret, and all while the Nazis are occupying their area. It's just seems like such, well, it would be such a stressful time. The other main point of view that we follow is Werner, and he lives in Germany. So he is orphaned with his sister, and they become enchanted by this radio, which they listen to constantly, and it tells them tales from all over, and it just builds up their imagination. And as Werner grows, he learns to build things, to fix things, and he ends up being employed to help find the resistance. So eventually their paths end up crossing, and it's all about a story of how people can still be good to each other even in the face of terrible odds. So I'm just so excited to read this book and discuss it with you guys and a couple of my friends. So I really want you to participate in the live show if you are interested, which is going to be taking place on Sunday, February the 24th at 8 o'clock my time, Eastern time. I'm in Ontario, so I'm sorry you're gonna have to figure out all of the different areas and all of the different time zones because I am really bad at doing that. But that was everything that I really wanted to touch on in this video to let you know what the February book pick was and when our live show is going to be, so then that way you can participate. So let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be joining us for our live show and if you have read this book or if you are going to be reading it this month. And as always, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content. I put out new videos every weekend, and until next time, keep reading.